Lynn, we're here tonight with Lynn Proctor from Treasury Wine Estates, and we are hosting our Vine and Dine event, an evening with the sommelier. So welcome, Lynn. Very nice having you here.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So you recently moved to Florida and joined Treasury Wine Estates. So tell us, why did you join this company?
Well, you know what? After about, I guess, a 13-month or so courtship, I was a consultant back in Texas, and I had done a lot of work alongside Treasury at different symposiums and events and important events and tastings, and just kind of seemed like a natural fit. So after about 13 months of back and forth and kind of looking for the right place for me to land, I landed, and the role was for luxury for the Southeast, luxury and education and all that fun stuff for the Southeast region. So it was time to pick up and go to Florida. I mean, I've done a lot of moving, but never to Florida, so I was happy about it.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
We're delighted that you're in Florida. We're delighted to welcome you to Orlando.
Happy to be here.
And you have great wines in your portfolio.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
thank you.
tonight for our Vine and Dine dinner, we are sampling some awesome wines. Chef Fred made a great menu. So can you tell us a little bit about the wines we're going to be trying tonight?
So we are starting off with one of the world's oldest wine estates. We're starting off with the Penfolds Thomas Highland 2008 vintage of regionally from South Australia. Absolutely fantastic.
Which we're having right now. So
we are sitting here right now. And then we're going to roll into a fantastic wine. We're going to take you back to the new world of California, North America there, and we're going to go to our Chateau St. Jean Fumé Blanc, or Sauvignon Blanc, for those who may not know, but Fumé Blanc, of course. And then from there, we're going to lead into some fantastic red wines from Beringer. Of course, we've got the Beringer Nights Valley Cabernet Sauvignon 2009. We've got the Beringer Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon 2009, which I like to call Baby Private Reserve, the Napa Valley Cab. And then we're going to round it out. We're going to finish with a Penfolds wine as well. We're going to finish with our Club Tawny Reserve port, if you will. Not an actual port from Portugal, but it's the Australian. It's our rendition of what the great Portuguese do in the Douro Valley there.
And so we're doing something kind of fun with the entree course. We're actually comparing the two different Cabernets, one from Napa, one from Sonoma, so that should be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be a great comparison. I mean, you be the judge on which one you like better, which one you think is more elegant, which one you think is more long-lived, which one has the most body finesse, the most power, the most tannin, the most subtleties, the most elegance. I mean, that's going to be a really good thing. I mean, both of our powerhouses from the elegant yet earthy side of Sonoma, our Nights Valley, and the very bold and ripe and luscious side of Napa Valley, where we're pulling off a Steinauer, Bancroft, single vineyards of ours, and also a little home ranch out of St. Helena.
Well, I'm glad we got the Nights Valley. That's a limited one with very hot demand, so it's going to be great. The guests are really going to love it tonight.
Indeed, indeed.
So tonight's evening is called the Evening with the Sommelier. So I have to ask the question, how did you get started? What made you want to become a sommelier?
At the end of the day, working in restaurants. I mean, I was a waiter. I won't say just like everybody else, but I think a lot of people cut their teeth being a waiter or a bartender. So yeah, just like everybody else. I was a waiter, but at the end of the day, I always found a way to have the highest appetizer sales, the highest entree sales, the highest dessert sales, at the same time having the highest wine sales. And for whatever reason, that stuck. People started coming to me, other servers started coming to me because, how do you sell so much wine? Tell me about this, tell me about this. I didn't know anything. I was no sommelier. I didn't know anything. I was like, oh yeah, it's a great cab, it goes with this. Oh, it's a great Chardonnay, it goes with this. I just knew how to talk to guests. I knew how to approach tables and I had never been to Austria at that point, or Germany, or Italy, or Spain, but I kind of knew how to talk their language just by looking up stuff about wine. I know how to talk their language and know about cities and provinces and towns that where these famous wines hail from. They're like, oh, I was there last week with my family, blah, blah, blah. And I just kind of dove into that. And at the end of the day, I really saw that being a sommelier was something that was very elegant and very revered and very, very cool at the end of the day. I mean, you get to walk around with a great bottle in your hand and touch guests, and you get to dress in suits, and I just wanted to do it.
And you're a fine dresser, so you're
doing
that very well.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So now you're pursuing the Master Sommelier from the Court of Master Sommeliers. So known as the hardest test that no one's ever heard about.
Very true.
And how is that process going on?
You know what? Hopefully it will come to an end very soon. And I don't mean an end, because once you become a master sommelier, that's not the end. That's the beginning. Because it's not the end of studying, it's not the end of tasting. At the end of the day, you're probably going to do it as much, if not more, because guess what? You're inspiring people, you're teaching people. So you don't want to become a master sommelier and just say, no more blind tasting, I've got an entire table set up over there. No more blind tasting, no more notes, no more studying, because if I'm going to inspire you and talk to you and teach you, I've got to stay in the books, I've got to stay on the wine, I've got to stay on the plane and travel to the vineyards. But I guess the great thing about being a master sommelier is that there are 186 in the world. There are 118 in North America, and the rest spread out throughout the world, and it's extremely rare, extremely hard to become one. It takes a long time, it can take a short amount of time. I mean, there are guys out there that are just absolutely brilliant, absolute geniuses, and they go from the first level to the last level in 4 or 5 years. They're master sommeliers, and they're teaching people already right now. It's just amazing how quickly you can do it if you have that aptitude. If you don't have that aptitude and you gain that aptitude, you just got to study your butt off. You gotta put your head down and go, which is kind of my favorite term.
That's very cool. We look forward to you being the 119th in North America very soon.
Thank you.
We wish you a lot of luck.
Hopefully I can pull it off this summer.
Very cool. We're going to be looking out for that. So one of the cool things that you have recently been involved in is a film about 4 sommeliers on this quest to become V&MS, and so tell us about that. What was that like, having cameras following you during all this time?
I was about 22, 23, 24 months of just constant travel and constant cameras and constant studying, blind tasting. You know, how we communicate over the phone, over Skype, how we blind taste together, how we do our own notes. I mean, I had cameras in the second bedroom in my house. I mean, my wife would go and wake the film guy up to say, okay, my husband is probably going to be rolling over in the next 15, 20 minutes, get everything ready. And they would literally follow me, everything I did. So I definitely don't want to call it reality TV, because it's not today's reality TV. Yes, it's reality, but not today's reality TV. It's really a testament of what our daily regime was and is, and what we go through and how we prepare for the day.
How did you get involved with the film?
You know what? The 4 of us that are in the film, we're a tight-knit group. I was the only one living in Texas at the time, and those guys are in the Bay. All 3 of those guys were San Francisco and Half Moon Bay right there. But I was in San Francisco once or twice a month. I was always there because that's my group. Those are my tasting guys. Those are my theory guys, my knowledge guys. And we were kind of a tight-knit group. And the director, producer, Jason Wise, had already known Brian McClintock from college. And Jason Wise is a great filmmaker and producer. He does a lot of underwater things. I mean, the guy's been to the Great Barrier Reef. He's been everywhere. Done a lot of filming around the world. And Brian McClintock kind of threw out an idea saying, you know what, we should see how far we can go with actually taping and recording what we do. And after probably about a year of talk about it, you know, the higher-ups and the quartermaster sommeliers and the guild of sommeliers, after a long time of back and forth, they approved it to a certain extent. There's only so much you can see when it comes time to real examination of the real process behind closed doors. Only so much. But Brian McClintock and Dustin Wilson were roommates in San Francisco. Ian Cobble, just down the road at Ritz-Carlton Half Moon Bay. We were always on Brian and Dustin's couch. Like I say, I flew in twice a month. I was always on the couch. And I guess it was really just kind of natural for the 4 of us to be together. And also, Ian Cobble and I, in 2008, Wine and Spirits named us Best New Sommeliers in America. Dustin Wilson, the next year, 2009, one of the Best New Sommeliers in America. So we were, like I say, we were a tight-knit group, and thankfully our peers thought great of us. And I guess it was just really natural for us to kind of be in the same clique together for this film.
That's very cool. It's nice to see that inner working. Not a lot of people get to see that process and how difficult it is to do what you do and to achieve that, to achieve that level. So that's very, very cool. So what advice would you have for, you know, some of our guests are very into wine, and they might want to become sommeliers, what advice would you give anybody looking to pursue that?
You know what? Everybody's path is different. I can't tell you you need to, after working 60 hours a week, study another 40 hours a week. You work, let's just say you work 8 to 6. I can't tell you once you get home, grab a quick snack, make whatever you make at 7:30, start studying until 2 a.m. in the morning, go to bed, then wake back up 5:36, hit the gym, whatever you have to do, and get ready for work again at 8. I can't tell you to do that. That's what I did. Of course, I was working in the restaurant, so my hours were flip-flopped. Mm-hmm. You know, I usually hit the restaurant, or as consultant restaurants or different groups or areas 3, 4 o'clock, and I'd be there until 2 a.m. But I'd be the one who wakes up, go to the gym, and I'm studying all day. Or going to a lunch here and there, an event here and there. I'm studying all day for those 8 hours, and most people are at work. So I can't tell you that that has to be your path. That was my path. Everybody's road is a bit different. I don't use flashcards. A lot of people use flashcards. I put everything in color. For me studying, I'm a very visual guy. It has to be a colorful map. I have to have colorful pens when I write, colorful pens when I take notes. I remember things like that, and I have to look at pictures. For you, for other sommeliers, for other people with very high aptitudes, they just read a book, and it's there. They just read about a wine region, and it's there. They taste the wine, it's seared in their memory forever. Though things are a little different for me. But I want people to know that whatever their road is, my words, put your head down and go. Don't let anything distract you, and don't let any outside force say, nah, it's too hard, you can't do it. Even guys who pass the certified level and advanced level, most of them usually stop right there because they'll fail the MS several times. Nah, don't do it, I'm done. I don't want to tell you that. Whatever your driving force is, make it your driving force and do it.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
For anything.
I guess so, yeah, for anything, yeah.
That's great advice. So I would say now let's have a toast and let's get ready to go to dinner.
Yes, we will. We're going to have a great dinner this evening.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Thomas Island, Penfolds.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Fantastic.
Have a good night.
Thank you.